what is the benefit of journaling. Hey, I'm Sylvia, and today we're going to talk about what is the benefit of journaling. I have been journaling probably since I was around 14, and that has taken different forms throughout the time, but more often than not, I journal pen to paper. So the first benefit of journaling is in the present. In the moment that you are writing, that thought, that moment, that memory, whatever it might be, it is a mindfulness exercise, because your thought process intertwined with your feelings, the threads may be inconclusive and you can't quite make sense of what is going on. But the exercise of starting to write, take a pen, paper, I like a notepad, and just write what comes through your mind, first of all helps to slow the mind down. And this is when the mindfulness comes in, because your hand writing those words can't quite keep up with how quickly those words are going through your brain as thoughts. So it forces the process to slow down. And as you are writing your thoughts, you are also taking a moment to reflect on what's going on, and that can take you in different paths. More often than not, I find that it helps find the threads in a more linear fashion, to really understand what is going on thoughts-wise, affecting the mood that I might be going through. So let me tell you a story. This morning I woke up and I didn't feel quite right, but there was no reason to not feel right. So there were feelings coming through as a result of that. I was frustrated. Why am I feeling this way? My mind went into overdrive. Could it be this? Could it be that? Have I forgotten something? Am I behind? And I was self-sabotaging. So I did what I do most mornings with my first cup of coffee. I took my notepad and my pen, just started writing. And that was very helpful to download the thoughts onto paper, which ultimately led me to realize I had quite a bad nightmare throughout the night. I didn't even remember the nightmare beforehand, but that made me understand why I was feeling that certain way and how this was connected to an event from the past. It was helpful for self-reflection, but also to make sense of something so I can then move on from it. Another way that journaling has a lot of benefits and it's extremely helpful is in the future. Now, I love this part. Being able to go back to your writing days later, moments later, or years later, that's where the power comes. That's where the magic happens. I'll tell you a story. Before the pandemic, I was going through quite a lot of change in my professional career. And at the time, I wrote down almost everything. What was going on, how I felt, what I was going through. It was therapeutic to download it because it was insurmountable. Also, it was helpful to document it and have that if I ever needed it. It was a good in-the-moment exercise that carried on for weeks. For a long time, I didn't feel like revisiting that. In fact, I didn't feel like revisiting until 4 years later, when I just felt I was ready. I was ready to look at that and reflect on what was going on. I felt grateful that I actually kept those notes, to be able to revisit not just the events, but who was I at that time? So the beauty of writing and having it from the past is that it almost sits over here. It's not here and it's not here as it is in the moment. It's somewhere far enough away that you can look at it with the new status quo, with the new perspective and knowledge and experience that you have gained and developed over time. So you can almost look at it in a more objective, if not in a more desensitized way. And that is gorgeous. To be able to see what was going on at that time and who I was, how I felt, remembering and realizing some of it wasn't about that situation, it was about something else that I needed to work through, and how far I've come. That is where the magic happens. To be able to look at it and think, wow, your writing is your personal story. It's your personalized experience of the moment. How you wish to write it, how you wish to capture it, how it comes out even, it's extremely personal. And that in itself is the therapy. That in itself gives you the ability to then look at it again and remember fully how that felt, what it was like. Be surprised, be in awe, be frustrated, and so on. Absolutely magical. And ultimately, as you go through steps in your life, it develops your self-awareness. That ability to take your thoughts, download them onto paper, reflect in the moment, reflect over time, really helps with you understanding yourself better, to start seeing patterns of habits that may be extremely joyous. They may be the clue to what you're meant to be doing in your life, or indeed they may be the clue to how things need to be worked on. But it helps you with that journey through documenting and experiencing the moments. I hope that helps. We can talk more about journaling. I'm Sylvia. Thanks for staying with me.